Hello, welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. This is the starting 11 show for Republic of Ireland versus Lithuania in the Aviva Stadium. Kick off at 7:45 on Tuesday evening, and this one we're going to have a little bit of fun with. This is just a team that I would like to see start. Stephen said he's pretty much going to experiment, but not too many. So I'm just going to go with what I'd like to see, and you guys can obviously get involved by leaving your comments and let me know what you'd choose and who you'd have in your team in the comments as well. So make sure you get involved. I'm going to start off on goals. I'm just going to keep it simple with Queevy and Kelleher. I think it's another opportunity for him to stake his claim as number one choice with Gavin Bazunu out ill. I think Queevy has to capitalise on the fact that Gavin's out, like the way Gavin capitalised on the way Queevy was out this time last year. So I still think Gavin would be number one when he comes back in, but if Kelleher can have a really good game and really impress, he'll leave Stephen Kenny with a big decision to make in June, I think. So I think it's all to play for in that position. But again, I think Queevy has to have a really big performance for I think Stephen to pick him for June. But let's see how that one played out. I'm going to stick with a back three, and just because I don't want this video to go on too long, I'm going to go into my back three. So I've gone with Darragh O'Shea. I think he deserves a chance to come back in. He was brilliant for us when we needed him to come in, especially during COVID. He came in and looked like he had been playing international football his whole career basically, and he's honestly only 2021. Really good player, and I think anytime he's come in, as I said, he just seamlessly slots in there. I think he's a carbon copy of John Egan. I think he could look at John Egan and try to emulate him, and maybe he might go on to bigger and better things than John Egan did, just because John became an international and so on so late on in his career compared to Darragh, who obviously got in quite early. And he's playing with West Brom. He's played in the Premier League already, quite young. So that's why I just say that, not in a derogatory term towards John Egan, but I will have John Egan in the middle beside him, and the one that's going to probably captain the team. Well, I'd like to see him captain the team. He did the press conference for the match day -1, which kind of indicates that if he is starting and Coleman and Duffy aren't playing, that John will be the captain, but it's not confirmed. But he'd be my captain for this one, and I just think he'd lead the back line quite well with Darragh there, and I'm going to put Nathan Collins beside him. I think he's deserved a chance to come in and play, playing in the Premier League with Burnley this season, and he's done quite well. I know he got sent off in the last game I watched, but thought he'd done quite well. Other than that, thought it was a bit of a soft red card, to be fair, but I think Nathan has a point to prove, because of all the centre backs we have, he's probably the lowest kind of ranked in the order in which Stephen Kenny has them, because I think Andrew Omobamidele is actually in contention ahead of him, because obviously when he came in, when Darragh got injured, he came in and seamlessly slotted in as well. But I'm just hoping that Nathan has a good game, because these are the lads that are going to carry us over the next couple of years. Himself, Andrew, Darragh, all these lads. So you need players like John Egan, Shane Duffy and Seamus Coleman, the ones to be leading them. So I think with John Egan in the middle of the tree, I think it's a good mixture of youth and experience in there. So that's what I've gone for. On my wing back, I'm going to stick with Matt Doherty. I kind of wanted him to have a rest for this one, because he keeps getting injured on international duty, going back to his club form, and his club form suffering from it. But I kind of looked through the squad there, and there's no one really that I can look at and say can come in and play right wing back as well as him, and obviously give us that bit of balance and that bit of know-how. I think he's one of our better performing players now, and I think that again, I don't want to have this squad where it's going to be too much youth and not enough experience. So you're kind of mixing it up, because on the left hand side I'm going to have Ryan Manning, who I thought didn't do amazing when he came on against Belgium, but I think he has a lot to prove, and I think he really needs to start making that position his own. He's obviously one of very few players that can play that position, and he's coming through at the minute, so he's enjoying a decent season with Swansea. But I heard someone say earlier that he's serving a 4-match ban at the moment, so maybe he needs to watch his discipline a bit, but he needs to try and come in and make that position his own. With Enda Stevens getting on, and Jason McLean's getting on a bit as well, despite McLean having a really good season and had a decent game the other night. I still think that Ryan Manning will probably be given an opportunity, considering he only came on in like the 81st minute or whatever it was against Belgium. So that's my wing backs and my defence. Then my midfield too. I'm going to go with Josh Cullen and Jason Malumbi. I went for them in my last starting 11 show, and Stephen went with Josh and Jeff Hendrick. But I just think this is a game that you can bring in Malumbi and just give him a run, give him a game, and let Hendrick have a rest. I think Hendrick done well against Belgium, and you can always bring him off the bench if needs be. I just think Malumbi deserves a chance, and if you're going to call up players, you might as well give them an opportunity. You can keep Josh in there, because I just think Josh is one of those players who could play every game. He's like Frank Lampard in that sense. He just plays every game and doesn't miss games. But I think Josh Cullen's vital to our tempo in which we play, and he's just so dynamic and energetic in and around the place. And I think with Malumbi beside him, I think they'd be very good. And Malumbi's obviously quite good at carrying the ball with him as well, if we need a ball carrier. And then we're going to have two players in front of them. Then I'm going to go with Chiedozie Ogbene on the right hand side of the attacking midfielders, I'm going to call them, the two number 10s as Stephen likes to call them. I'm going to go with Chiedozie on that side, because I just think you can't take him out of the team, because he's been performing so well. He's a joy to watch, and to see him kind of grow and evolve in this Irish team has been brilliant. He's got 3 goals and 6 appearances, or 6 caps if you want to call them, for Ireland. So I think Chiedozie is going to be a big player for Ireland, and I think this is another opportunity for him to get more goals. On the other side of him, I'm going to go with Troy Parrott. I think he was unlucky to come on so late in the game the other night. He's enjoying a good season. Keith Andrews has spoken about how well he's been performing in training and so on with the Irish team, and he's gone up a few levels. So it'd be nice to see Troy get in and maybe get on the score sheet in this game. I'd love to see that happen. And then in front of Troy and Chio, I'm going to go with Will Keane. I think give Callum Robinson a rest. He's shown what he can do, or maybe give him a half in the second half. But I think I'd like to see Will Keane start the game, just to see what he would offer to this Irish team, where he can hold the ball up and get players like Troy and Chio into the game. And you know, maybe they can link up well. But I think Troy deserves an opportunity to try and get in this team and try and score a couple of goals. I think he's been a bit unlucky. He's probably been the fall guy in a lot of this, because he kind of came in for a bit and has obviously spoken about how he kind of lacked in form, and the move to Millwall didn't work out, the move to Ipswich didn't work out, but the move to MK Dons has worked out. Maybe he hasn't scored as many goals as he would have liked, but he's definitely contributing in terms of assists and performances, and obviously he's adding a few goals here and there. So I'd like to see him get involved, and maybe have a good performance in the Aviva. I just want to see some youth and experience mixed in there, and some goals. I'd love to see us win by a comfortable margin, and a couple of lads who haven't scored for a while maybe get off the mark, and some of the lads who obviously have scored, I'd like to see them add to their tally. But let me know your thoughts on my lineup in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, enjoy the game, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.